We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Oxford Languages defines a shill as, quote, an accomplice of a hawker, gambler, or swindler who acts as an enthusiastic customer to entice or encourage others, end quote. But they do not just express support. Shills also attempt to discredit critics and naysayers whose opinions are deemed undesirable. For a shill, anonymity is key. If their motivation is revealed, they are discredited. In the 21st century, the shills rarely wear an identifiable jacket. They're everywhere on the internet. Anonymity provides them with endless opportunities to promote their agendas, with next to no risk of being exposed. This brings me to the state of modern media, where soulless companies have tenaciously infected the discourse surrounding art. Art is an expression of humanity, of emotion, and of beauty. Great art taps into our intuition, communicating ideas which can't merely be spoken, allowing us to perceive the universe in ways that weren't previously apparent. It's a true and pure expression of the person or people who made it, making it also an expression of the cultures in which its creators were raised, and of the art which influenced them, which can express, challenge, or evolve the social values of the time in which it was made. And through its influence, its meaning grows even further. This is why criticism is so valuable. It explores the intentions of the artist and attempts to measure their relative success or failure in achieving their artistic vision. The resilient artist always benefits from meaningful criticism. Big media companies generally don't care about art. The result of this money first, art second mindset is that the quality of a product becomes secondary to the response it generates. Worrying too much about the quality would slow production. And if the product receives a lot of engagement, then it's a success regardless of its quality. The business model is simple. 1. Make the product as quickly and cheaply as possible. 2. If you have to slap on the brand name of a popular IP, do so without a second thought. 3. Discredit negative criticism so it doesn't impact viewership or deter people from consuming the next product. What worries me is the discourse surrounding popular media and how year by year it becomes harder to tell whose opinions come from a genuine place and whose are paid for. A lot of the blame falls on popular critics who would often rather write a dishonest review than risk upsetting industry giants and losing access to early screenings and other perks. But most of the blame falls on the big media companies themselves, who abuse the power of the internet to influence public perception. In Cheyenne Roundtree's November 2023 article on RollingStone.com titled "HBO Bosses Use Secret Fake Accounts to Troll TV Critics," she details a wrongful termination lawsuit against HBO by Sully Tamori, former script coordinator of The Idol. The lawsuit, according to Roundtree, alleges that then president of original programming Casey Bloys, quote, ordered staffers to create fake accounts to fire back at critics, according to text conversations, end quote. The lawsuit alleges that this was a coordinated effort between Bloys and Kathleen McCaffrey, HBO's senior vice president of drama programming, and that they ordered Tamori to respond to critics under fake names. McCaffrey allegedly texted Tamori regarding Bloys, quote, "Is there a way to create a dummy account that can't be traced to us to do his bidding?" End quote. Rolling Stone critic Alan Sepinwall, regarding the show The Nevers, tweeted, quote, "HBO's The Nevers should have been Joss Whedon's triumphant return to television. Instead, it's very messy for both creative reasons and an accumulation of real-world allegations against its creator." End quote. McCaffrey allegedly texted Tamori, quote, "Casey is looking for a tweeter. He's mad at Alan Sepinwall. Can our secret operative please tweet at Alan's review? Alan is always predictably safe and scared in his opinions. And then we have to delete this chain, right? OMG, I just got scared. LOL." End quote. According to Roundtree, quote, "That day, a newly created account under the name of Kelly Shepard, a self-described Texas mom and herbalist, replied to Sepinwall's tweet about his review, repeating the sentiment McCaffrey expressed. The handful of tweets from Shepard's account are all directed at critics. Tamori's attorney already confirmed Tamori made the Kelly Shepard account to comply with his boss's requests. End quote. New York Times critic James Poniwozik, regarding the same show, tweeted that it, quote, feels like watching a show that someone has mysteriously deleted 25% of the scenes from, end quote. The lawsuit alleges that Blois texted McCaffrey, quote, maybe our friend needs to say what a shock it is that two middle-aged men are shitting on a show about women, end quote. To which McCaffrey allegedly responded, quote, I fucking hate these people. Yes, end quote. The Kelly Shepard account then replied to James Ponywozik's tweet, quote, how shocking that two middle-aged white men are shitting on a show about women, end quote. Alan Sepinwall, not long after, left a review of a different HBO show, Mayor of Easttown. The lawsuit alleges that McCaffrey texted Blois, quote, His Highness needs another one. We need our friends to call out Alan for mayor, end quote. Blois allegedly replied with a suggested response to the critic, quote, Alan missed on Succession and totally misses here because he is busy virtue signaling, end quote. According to Roundtree, quote, later that day, the Shepard account posted the exact message, end quote. Vulture.com critic Catherine Van Arendonk, regarding the show Perry Mason, tweeted, quote, please find some way to communicate male trauma besides showing me a flashback to the hero's memories of trench warfare, end quote. Blois allegedly texted McCaffrey, quote, maybe a Twitter user should tweet that that's a pretty blithe response to what soldiers legitimately go through on the battlefield. Do you have a secret handle? Couldn't we say, especially given that it's D-Day, to dismiss a soldier's experience like that seems pretty disrespectful. This must be answered. Who can go on a mission? We just need a random to make the point and make her feel bad, end quote. The lawsuit alleges that Blois and McCaffrey not only asked Tamori to respond to critics, but also to anonymous commenters on Deadline.com articles regarding HBO shows. User Julius commented, quote, HBO became a joke as soon as Lombardo left. The current group are idiots. Blogs, is a cocky, useless puppet who has no sense, end quote. Blois allegedly texted McCaffrey, quote, someone actually says we went downhill after Lombardo left. Please have them post. Hi, David Levine. HBO seems just fine, thanks, end quote. David Levine, by the way, was HBO's ex-executive vice president. There were various other anonymous comments on Deadline.com articles around this time, such as, quote, the future is Blois, end quote, and, quote, HBO has been and always will be fire, end quote. One user criticized, quote, Blois-era cynicism of HBO development, end quote. Blois allegedly texted McCaffrey, quote, how dare someone write that? I want to say something along the lines of, okay, they are just counting their Emmys, or something like that, end quote. According to the November 2023 Variety.com article, HBO boss Casey Blois apologizes for using fake Twitter accounts to troll TV critics, dumb idea, by Jennifer Moz. Blois responded to the allegations, saying, quote, for those of you who know me, you know that I am a programming executive very, very passionate about the shows that we decided to do, and the people who do them and the people who work on them. I want the shows to be great. I want people to love them. I want you all to love them. It's very important to me what you all think of the shows, end quote. I wonder why that is. My detailing of these allegations is to illustrate that certain media companies, allegedly, have an obsession with the discourse surrounding their properties, and they will do anything to try to combat criticism they deem undesirable, be it insulting the critic, shaming the critic, accusing them of bigotry, anything to discredit negative criticism. If I went into detail regarding all of the allegations against certain media companies, such as their alleged manipulation of Rotten Tomatoes scores, we would be here for a while. So how do we spot shills? As the tactics employed by media shills are often the same employed by ignorant and defensive consumers. As we become more adept at spotting shills, they will in turn become better at blending in. But luckily, we can tell what's substantial. Is the comment making an artistic argument? Is it an attack on the critic? Is it related to the discussion at hand, or is it an obfuscation? By asking these questions, we can at the very least differentiate between comments that are worth considering and comments that regress the discussion. The bottom line is that shills are more pervasive than ever, plaguing public discourse with dishonesty, popular media being no exception. But what's particularly offensive to me about shilling in media, such as film and television, is that it actively combats artistic progression by celebrating and encouraging poor storytelling. Storytelling is a beautiful form of art, one that can express humanity both in our individuality and in our connection with one another. This is why critics have a duty to be honest, because deep and substantive art is far more important than adhering to specific social values because you feel like you have to. It's more important than massaging the ego of the artist, and it's more important than advancing one's own status. What is the greater meaning in a story? What is its intention? Does it inspire us? Does it convey a harsh truth? Does it evoke beauty? Does it bring us together? Or does it divide us? Suffice it to say, it's called programming for a reason.
Now back to your regularly scheduled program.